Hello everyone, my name is Zachary as always, and today I'm talking about the movie Blade. Now, this movie, again, is made in the time period, around the time where they were really trying things with the comic movie genre. Now, this was before the DCEU, this was before the MCU, all of that crap. And here, we had all these different things that they were trying to do from all these comics, and one of the things that they tried to reach for and see what stuck is Blade. Now, this movie was not particularly successful when it first came out, but it has grown a large following since then, and I think that's really cool. Me personally, I wasn't into the premise at all, and there was probably only one or two sequences I liked, but hey, I'm going to talk about this movie fairly, because, you know, it's a movie that I can definitely see why people would like it. It's an entertaining enough film, and some parts of it we'll talk about it. We'll talk about all of it. So, this movie is pretty interesting. The whole thing is basically, the guy fighting all of these, like, vampire guys, because, like, there's this whole thing with, like, vampires and the government, and so the Blade dude is like, hey, I don't like vampires, but I'm part vampire. But I'm not trying to kill people, so he's like, wow. And there's so many cool action sequences. He is an absolute baddie in this movie. It's so cool to see him, like, just chop down all of these, like, vampires, just one by one, cutting through them. It's so cool. Yeah, and over time, we get introduced to the characters. This is this mechanic guy that works with him that eventually dies, super sad. But he has to get down to what these vampires are planning, and there's this guy who wants to become, like, this super powerful vampire. And he has these plans, you see. He's gonna do some bad crap, you know, he's gonna mess some stuff up. So, that's his plan, and eventually he gets all this stuff, and he goes, like, this underground, layer? I don't know. And then, from there, they become, like, super vampires, bad CGI, it's horrendous. You know, a lot of stuff happens. Stuff blows up, people blow up, Blade chops people up. It gets crazy. There's a part on the train earlier in the movie. A lot of action sequences with vampires, and I didn't like it for a few reasons. And we'll talk about that in the good, the okay, and the bad. My 3 sections I do in almost every single one of my reviews. And, so starting off with the good, the ending action sequence is pretty cool. Kind of so bad it's good kind of thing, but I don't know. Blade himself is absolutely incredible. He is so cool. You know, seeing him slash through vampires is pretty cool. And now let's go on to the okay. The okay is the overall premise. The overall premise is that this vampire government is trying to take over the world with vampires, but they're also trying to keep it with humans, so there's all this clashing forces in play. And I'm not into that kind of plot, to be honest. This movie is not for me. Absolutely not for me. But I still can see why people like it. And, you know, even though I get why, I don't really care. I didn't care for this one. Stuff that's bad. I hated the opening. So I was expecting way more. My expectations were really high, because I was seeing all these people saying, hey, go watch this. It's so good. I went to go watch it. Didn't like it. So, when I saw this opening sequence, and I realized, you know what? This isn't like, as good as I thought it was. It influenced my expectations still of the movie. I tried to keep an open mind. It didn't live up to my expectations, and even then, I didn't even really like it at all. But the opening sequence really was my thing. So, like, we have, like, it's absolutely bonkers. Goes in, there's this party, right? But all this blood sprinkles out. But all these people turn into vampires, and they eat one human. They do this huge operation with like, probably hundreds of vampires to kill this one human. Kind of stupid, to be honest. But, anyway, so, a lot of this movie I dislike. A lot of the movie I think it's okay. Maybe a couple things I think is good. I know this is a cult classic for a lot of people. I have met a ton of people that absolutely love this movie so much, and you know what, that's cool, but it's just not for me. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video or any of my other content, please consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Also, this movie's probably a 4.5 out of 10.